So for working at a big company, I think people all realize, all of these roles you have to be smart and tenacious and hardworking and determined. Like, let's just assume that all of that is the case. I think that you're all at Stanford, so it's probably even a step above that I'll assume. But here, it's actually this idea of being eager to be taught. It's not eager to learn. It's that you thrive when someone else is teaching you how to do things. And you love feeling like that mentorship and training is stabilizing in your life. This is a place that you're going to get it. When you go to Google, you have I don't know how many different teams and mentors and places that you can get advice. That is not the case when you're at a startup. Everyone's so busy, they don't even know, they don't care what your problem is because they got problems of their own. So eager to be taught, team-oriented, thrives within structure, and also I see that being competitive is something that is a trait that fits well with being in a big company. That seems a little bit weird to say, but it's because you can't be competitive if there's no one else doing your job. So if you're really competitive, you really need a class of people doing your job. You need a banking class, you need an associate class, because then you know that you're better than that guy who's doing your job and you're just doing it better, and that makes you really happy. And so this is a good place to go do that. If you work as a founder or a startup company, like, there's no one else. You can't compete. They're like, you're all in the same boat together. So I think that kind of draws out the biggest difference for me in this big company arena. The key benefit, obviously, is the credibility stemming from the brand that you have. I would say in the beginning of your career, being able to stamp the resume with something like Stanford or something like Facebook or Microsoft is amazing. You can also go and do that startup, but understand that if that startup fails, then the 3 years that you were working at it kind of don't resonate with anybody. So it's not giving you the credibility that something else might. And the biggest drawbacks there are a handful, but I think that the biggest one for somebody that might be in your chair is that the hierarchy limits outlier opportunities. So when you're at a startup company, you can be 25 years old and all of a sudden you can be the VP of marketing. That is not going to happen at Microsoft. And I think that there are goods and bads to that, but regardless, if you feel like you need to have more autonomy and more room to grow and you want to have that ambiguity, then this is definitely not going to be a place to do it. And I think then FOMO is the worst feeling ever when you work in a big company. And I felt that a lot at Bain, where I distinctly remember telling my family and my friends, I feel like I'm living in the Jetsons, but I'm working for the Flintstones. Like, you're seeing jets going around in autonomous vehicles, literally, and I'm helping a company that is just super archaic. And some people love that. I did not, which is why I knew in my heart that I could never stay there and that I needed to do something, anything, where people were thinking about tomorrow.